If in the 1990s you let me peek forward into the future and told me that every other magazine had died except for Thrasher, I wouldn't have believed you. Thrasher magazine has done better than any other media outlets at adapting from a print magazine to a full-circle digital, social, and print media company. In a world where pretty much every print magazine has struggled to stay alive, Thrasher has excelled into the biggest and most profitable they have ever been. Today we're talking about the most iconic piece of skateboarding media of all time, dubbed the Bible, a magazine that was able to survive the digital turn of the century and adapt to be the biggest skateboarding media company on earth, all while remaining cool in the skateboard world and somehow outgrowing skateboarding to become a cultural icon. What's up guys, it's Levi from Shred Shop, connect you to skateboarding, and today we're doing 14 things you didn't know about Thrasher magazine. We're going to talk about how they started, how they got their name and logo, Jake Phelps, their video game, and much, much more. If you like these history videos, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. We'll keep doing them. In 1946 in San Francisco, California, Eric Swenson is born. 3 days later, Fausto Botello is born in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Botello's family is forced to leave Argentina because of political unrest, and they moved to San Francisco. In the 1960s, Swenson and Botello actually meet and bond in the US Army Reserve. They bond over their love of motorcycles. In the 1970s, sadly, Swenson mangles up his legs in a motorcycle accident. In '78, the duo partners with Richard Novak and Jay Sherman to form Independent Skateboard Trucks. And then in January 1981, the first Thrasher magazine is produced. They made the mag to promote their indies as well as their riders. The first mag was actually such a rush to print that they didn't have a skateboard photo for the cover. It was just a cartoon drawing of someone smith grinding. At the same time, they made a printing and production company that was called High Speed Productions. They also went on to print Juxtapose and Slat magazine. The magazine quickly went on to represent the opposition to status quo. The reason that Thrasher was so important was because it stood for something: raw, uncensored skateboarding. It wasn't the biggest or most successful skateboard magazine around at the time, but it still had a cult following. Unfortunately, come 2006, Fausto Botello actually died while having a heart attack on his motorcycle while riding with friends. His wife, Gwen Rose Botello, went on to be the president of High Speed Productions Printing. His daughter, head of marketing and sales, and his son Tony went on to be the editor of Thrasher magazine, so it all stayed within the family. And then in 2011, Eric Swenson is found dead in front of a San Francisco police department. Both men have left a huge legacy on skateboarding, and we would not be the same without both of them. It's very unfortunate that they don't get to see the success that the magazine is today. September 24th, 1962, James Kendall Phelps is born in San Francisco. He moved to Boston when he was young, and his parents end up nicknaming him JK, which later was shortened to Jake. When Jake was 13, his mom bought him his first skateboard, which changed everything. In the early 1980s, he moved back to San Francisco to skate. At that point, he dropped out of high school and started working at Concrete Jungle Skate Shop in the Height District. He was added to the AM team along with skaters like Noah Slasnick, Mikey Reyes, and Danny Sargent. In 1986, Jake actually met the owners of Thrasher at Concrete Jungle, and they asked him to write for the magazine. In '86, he becomes an official contributor to the magazine. In 1989, he becomes a shipping manager. In 1992, he becomes the associate editor, and in 1993, he becomes the editor-in-chief. Jake embodied what Thrasher stood for more than anyone else in existence, and his persona actually became the voice of the brand. He was quoted saying, "Anyone could cover the hard tricks that happened at a Mountain Dew contest, but we don't cover that crap." Another Phelps quote is, "Skateboarding doesn't owe you crap, but it owes you wheel bite in the rain." Over the years, he's either gotten fired or very close to getting fired for very controversial remarks. An old employee was quoted saying that Jake Phelps didn't have a computer on his desk, an email setup, or his voicemail setup. If you followed Phelps, you know that he spent a lot of times in the hospital. He claimed that he had a 290-page medical record. He went through 7 knee injuries, and he had fractures to his legs, pelvis, and skull. Sadly, Jake Phelps passed away on March 14th, 2019 in San Francisco, California. He was 56 years old, and he was cremated with his skateboard. His passing was covered in every skateboard magazine across the entire planet, as well as many other huge media corporations, including New York Times and Vogue magazine. Back in the 90s, bands like Sonic Youth and Beastie Boys were using skateboarding to up their cool factor in the culture. In the past few years, we've noticed that tons of celebrities who have absolutely nothing to do with skateboarding are wearing Thrasher. Some of these celebrities include Justin Bieber, Rihanna, Ryan Gosling, Bella Thorne, and Adam Levine, as well as tons of other celebs and a few models. W Magazine was quoted saying, "It's official. You no longer have to know anything about skateboarding or know how to skateboard to fully embrace skateboard style." And then when Phelps was asked by the media, "What do you feel about so many celebrities wearing your clothing?" he was noted saying, "We don't send boxes to Justin Bieber or Rihanna or any of those effing clowns." He added, "The pavement is where it is. Blood, scabs, it doesn't get any realer than that." The hype around skateboarding even pushed Vogue magazine to start a skateboard week. Vogue published articles like, here's how to have skateboard style like a model, an ode to great skate hair, and 7 breakout skate brands to trick out your summer wardrobe. The articles actually had bits talking about people appropriating skateboarding, which is pretty ironic for a magazine that started Skateboarding Fashion Week. Many skaters have been very critical of people jumping on the skateboarding fashion trend. Phelps was quoted saying, "Man, this is corny stuff." The Thrasher logo is just a typeface and it's called Banko. The font type is actually designed by French graphic designer Roger Escoffier. He actually designed it for the Olive Foundry in 1951, and that was something he specialized in, typography. Even though it's just a type font, it's been known for many years as the Thrasher font, and it's been ripped off by so many different brands and companies and clothing designers. Thrasher came out with a video game called Skate and Destroy around the same time that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 came out. Thrasher Magazine and Rockstar Games released the game on PlayStation. The Skate and Destroy video game was actually more realistic in that it was harder to do tricks, whereas Tony Hawk Pro Skater was more of an arcade style game. In Skate and Destroy, you could break your bones, break your board, and get arrested, all while trying to get the cover of Thrasher Skate Mag. There's actually a Game Boy Color version that was supposed to come out, but was never released after the sales of the original game were super slow. Early on, Thrasher Mag had tons of content of anything that would interest skateboarders. This would include tons of snowboarding articles. One time there was even snowboarding right on the cover of the mag. It was featuring a pro skateboarder, Rob Roscoff, who was pro for Santa Cruz skateboards. He also had a Thrasher Mag sticker right on his snowboard. What's even weirder and whacker is in 1985, they had a cover that had longboarding on it. And in a bold heading, it said, "The Cult of Longboarding." I'm surprised they didn't lose their entire following at that point. The funny thing about that photo is that the feet in the photo are actually Craig Stesik's feet from Powell Peralta. Phelps considered his calling separating the kooks from the rest. He was known for banning people from the magazine that he didn't like. A lot of time it was permanent, but sometimes it didn't last that long. In 1996, Phelps actually labeled pro skateboarder Billy Pepper the most annoying person in skateboarding. Billy Pepper then showed up to the offices and punched Jake Phelps in the face. He definitely got banned. Over the years, other people that have been banned from the magazine include Benji Galloway, Tony Farmer, Frank Harada, and Choppy Omega. It's also interesting to note that Daniel Harold Sturt and Jeremy Ray were banned from the mag. They were both later unbanned. For Jeremy Ray, it's when he did the water tower ollie. And Sturt uncanceled his ban by sneaking into a Transworld shoot of Danny Way jumping out of a helicopter into a vert ramp. Sturt actually heard about the shoot, put on a flight outfit, and was in the field. He stood way back with a telephoto lens, and he got the photos of Danny Way jumping out of the helicopter. He then took the photos back to Thrasher, and Thrasher released them a month before Transworld could, and this lifted his ban. Michael Burnett was a kid from Texas who moved to Colorado and sent a zine into Phelps. He learned to shoot photos and everything else along the way. His zine caught the eye of Jake Phelps, and Phelps let him write articles and interviews for the mag. Now, almost 20 years later, you'll open almost any Thrasher magazine and you'll notice on the first page, Michael Burnett's name is printed under editor at large. And you'll notice Jake Phelps' name is listed next to editor in chief, which means Michael does all the work and Jake gets to put the stamp of approval on it. So really, Michael has been the actual editor of Thrasher Mag for over 20 years, but Jake has been the face of it. In 1990, Tony Hawk claimed the very first ever Skater of the Year award by Thrasher. It has grown in notoriety ever since, and it is now the top honor in skateboarding. It's higher above X Games, above Street League, above the Olympics. Whoever wins Sodi is the GOAT that year. You can see this in the way that skaters and brands are actually campaigning their skaters towards the voting for Sodi. They're releasing video parts and ads at the right time, kind of like political campaigning is, all for the hopes that they might be voted Sodi. The magazine doesn't let anyone in on the process on how they pick the winner, but most people believe that Jake Phelps is actually the one that handpicked the winner each year. Jake was quoted saying, "I'm not going to give the award to some Johnny come last month flavor of the week kind of guy." There's been some notable Sodi winners over the years. It's been Bob Burnquist, Andrew Reynolds, Mark Appleyard, Eric Costin, Art Osari, Shad Ware, Milton Martinez, Jamie Foy, and And there's only been 3 people that have won the Skater of the Year award 2 times. It's been Danny Way, Chris Cole, and Tyshawn Jones. The last Sodi award that we believe Phelps actually handpicked was Tyshawn Jones in 2018. It's worth noting that even though skateboarding is now in the Olympics, no skateboarder really cares who wins a gold medal or first place at the Olympics. That might matter to big corporations, grandparents, and family members, but to any real skater, Thrasher Skater of the Year is the true highest honor in skateboarding. In 2003, Thrasher launched their King of the Road contest. King of the Road is a 2-week road trip around the United States. In each city they stop in, they're given a book with scavenger hunt challenges to do in that city. The challenges are really vast. They're everything from gnarly or weird skateboard tricks to making out with old ladies to hitting a number 2 in your van with your friends sitting right next to you. Michael Burnett, the editor at the time, said they couldn't get the biggest and the best names in their magazine, so by creating the contest, they were able to get big skateboard names in their video each year. It's also worth noting that it started with video episodes, then it moved to web episodes when their website was growing like crazy, and near the end of the contest, they actually teamed up with Vice and made it into a full-on TV show. Hall of Meat started as skateboarders sending in their photos of their gnarliest injuries. They were then printed in the back of the magazine. Now, Hall of Meat is mostly videos, and they're posted on their website and their Hall of Meat Instagram page that has over 2 million followers. A couple of our Shred Shop team members have actually had Hall of Meat clips over the years. I only unfortunately got a Wednesday Whoa on the competing website. Not as good. Thrasher built an indoor skate park right along the bay in San Francisco, and they called it Double Rock. It's a private indoor skate park where they only invite pro teams to come and film clips. Even Lil Wayne made an appearance at Double Rock. Thrasher opened their flagship store at 66 6th Street in San Francisco, California. The space is part museum and part store. This is the meeting place for everyone to meet up before they go on in the session. It's actually nuts when you think about how far the magazine has come between 1981 and today. It's now the biggest and longest running skateboard magazine on the planet. Let us know below whether you think it's the best that there ever was. A lot of people refer to Thrasher as Skateboarder's Bible, or the Bible. In 2011, Thrasher reported selling over 250,000 copies of the magazine and 1.5 million visitors to their website every month. Fast forward to today, according to SimilarWeb.com, ThrasherMagazine.com gets over 3 million visits per month, making it skateboarding's biggest skateboard website. Guys, I'm Levi, this is Shred Shop Connect You to Skateboarding, and you just watched 14 things you didn't know about Thrasher Mag. What was your favorite Thrasher cover over the years and why? Let us know below. Who do you think has Sodi for 2023? Hey, maybe Tyshawn's got a three-peat. Let us know below. If you're on other platforms, so are we, at Shred Shop and at Levi Switzer. If you like these videos, we're gonna keep making them. Like, subscribe, and comment so you'll catch up. Stay tuned for Comment of the Week. Oh, we got a spicy one this week. It's from my guy, Brock Sampson 9737. He commented on a post for some new Quasi boards. He said, "Those have to be the crappiest graphics I've ever seen." Hey man, thanks for your feedback. We'll let Quasi know.